Hello! Yun guys! Hello. And first of all, I want to say thank you for coming. I was about to tell some joke, but I'm really tired, nervous, and still upset because I'm stressed. I was throwing stuff all over the floor and screaming at people and be like, get everything hang up on the floor, I don't care. And now I gotta relax. And basically, I gonna, it has been a crazy year, right? I have not been doing art for almost, I would say 13 years. I mean, off every now and then I do one or two pieces of art. I have not write in almost 13 years. Poetry have been something that I love, but eventually when you going through life, you sometimes forgot who you are. And this birthday party is really me finally coming back to who I am. And I think some of you, I want to really thank you for being here for me through this journey, coming back to myself because, it's a lot of text messages, essay mostly. I don't write message, I write essay. and thank and thank you for being there for me during the last 7 or 8 months of, a lot of emotional and turbulence and crazy late night 3 a.m. message. and I have 5 poems that I want to read. Oh, I saw some late people struggling in. Hello, Alex. If you come late, I call you out. And then after that, I will be playing some piano music. So the first 5, before I read out the poem, I want to say the 5 poem is really about the journey of how I slowly came back to myself and how and appreciative of everyone and in my life that have helped me becoming who I am today. And the 5 poem, the first poem is called Away. Away is a poem that I wrote for someone that, as my friends say, we sometimes we meet people in our life. We don't get to keep the one we love, but what they left behind in us is something to help us grow into a better version of ourselves. And because of her, I was able to paint all this painting within a month and a half. So I that is the first poem, and the second poem is called "Letting Go," and it's the idea that sometimes there are certain aspects in our life that we have to let go when we can no longer holding on to it, and that is how we roll it to learn to let go. The third poem I will be reading is called "Father." The fourth poem is called "Mother," and the last poem is called "Always With It." And I hope you guys enjoy these poems. All right, away. I lay my bare heart on the fresh grass in spring. I heard a mockingbird chirping the late autumn tune. I feel the late winter breeze caress my cheek on its way home. I raise my kite with an empty chest, catching the first morning wind. I let my sorrow ride the fabric, and up it goes toward the sun. How high can my kite reach? At high at my love for you, away from disapproving eyes, away from sneering words, away from this world, away from your duty and mine, at high at the winds shall take it. So, yet for a short moment in time, our love can fully exist, yet until the spool run out of thread, yet until gravity asks me for you. The second poem, Let Go. Letting go is like yellow leaf weather by autumn breeze, shaking, vibrating, falling. Knowing this is like peace in swirling sadness, aching, throbbing, appreciating, welcoming and inviting stillness. Understanding this is like warm fog pushing against cold air, forming, fading, repeating. The silence between each breath, the absence of warmth in the early quiet morning. Winter come to remind us that reprise we heat the empty, frozen heart. Next one is Father. I found my father, the one who left and now resting beneath this gentle earth, not in fading memory or in the way I laugh, but in my father whose action erode blood claim. The first 8 years, I found my father in my uncle carrying word in our Sunday brunches, and at every football match, we eagerly watch it on the TV. In game of chess that I frustratingly lost, every single night in our long drive, and on every tape of Buddha word, The wisdom that I learned from my father that teach or peace came from on my in my uncle who drove 25 minutes out of his way for a tasteless buffet filled with joyful cake, in a weekly allowance, in a debt that would never owe. Devotion I learned from my father that proves unconditional love did not come from possession. Father, a label that came with no claim, or father that came when we did not ask. In the constant and the steady present from two different hearts. The next 7 years, I found my father in my Aikido teacher back in his wise and pragmatic Budo warrior spirit, and at moment on the tatami mat, in our nightly dinner at his dimly lit house, and in many warm bottles of sake, I learned discipline from this simple word, breathe and slow down on. Now 34 years of age, I found my father not in my blood, but in memory of my father, who claimed no labor and expected nothing in return. Mothers. This poem. My mom is not here because she's working right now, but my two other mother figures in my life is here, so this is for them. Mothers. A mother, a title with no glory or fame. A mother, a duty, a woman must claim. A mother, a name she had learned to keep. A mother, two syllables, one more than God. What of a mother if her life wasn't offered for her child? To my mother, who saw her youth to bear the sin of my father, an ocean she crossed, a home she willingly left, just so I could reach for the sun, the storm she tireless weather, for the peace I now retain, and the sacrifice she made, so I could stand an inch taller than most. My mother sit letters more than any gods, the blessing of abundance she gives without a prayer, the blessing of love she exchanges by her flesh. My mother, two words, mẹ ơi, I say sin birth, a prayer I will speak for the rest of my life. To my aunt, whom stay up late, to make sure I color between the lines, who taught me the wonder of the word in between pages. I found a mother love in all my old art, keeping an old binder, in all her memories of my childhood, in the meaning of my names, and at 3 a.m. when she silently sat, half asleep next to me, as my heart learned to heal, whom quelled the chaos in my mind by the silence in between each breath. To my teacher, whom love was freely giving, and bound by no blood tie, I found a mother love in cake and pie, in sandwiches and fry, in every surprise gift, in random restaurant, and in all late night talk that extended beyond midnight, whom taught me to see my light in the darkness, whom taught me peace can be attained by a Zen mind, whom let my tear fall and let my weary mind learn to rest. At 34 years of age, I stand taller than most, calmer after many storms and wiser beyond my age. I stand firmer on my feet and fearlessly walk farther beyond the rising sun because of 7 letters and a single heartbeat from 3 mother heart. And the last poem, Always Within. I was born with 2 names on a wistful Monday, between the twilight and the sunset. I came from 2 different dreams and from 2 different hearts. I was first named Heavenly Gold, Thiên Kim, because my bà ngoại dream that the Bodhisattva of compassion arrived from heaven and bestowed to her a glowing golden gift. Then I was named Moonlight, Nguyệt Ánh, because my bà nội dream that the moon beam and illuminate light into her and breathe. Within their dream, I arrived into this world with blessing of light and love. At time ran a strenuous course, inevitably. Night soon coveted day. The new moon got lost within its face, drifting beyond the night. At what light I was blindfolded and seemingly forgot how bright the full moon could be. Year went on like waves, crashing again, crumbling sore. I stood before the ocean mighty depth and found myself staring at its core. And from its deepest reflection, I saw a heavenly star. Its light reminded me how bright the moonlight shine in the darkness of midnight. I found myself moving, pushed by the ocean breeze, guided by the northern star. I wandered through the ocean depth and found my way back home into my light attempt to be the artist that was always within me. Thank you, everyone. And then I will do a quick, oh well. That's what happened. And I will do a quick rendition of some of my piano music. And I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you. Hello. All right, at part of my birthday gifts, I expect you guys each to do a piece of art. There's the center table, and there's a bunch of art supply in there, and I don't really care what kind of art you make. Someone have to do something. That's all. Thank you. And enjoy.